We're about to see our classic physique top 10 run through a confirmation round, run out the diagonal, and mid some call outs from the judges, and they will shift them around accordingly. This is going to be interesting. Can anybody take down?
All right, for those that were at the expo, you saw the Olympia stage and our prejudging take place. You saw some great comparisons and great competition.
Three-awning switch, please. Want to turn right? Want to turn right? Okay, Tim. All right, Sean. You just said we have some very familiar guys up there.
The champion, Chris Bumstead by way of Canada.
Face front.
Brian, a two-time winner.
Front double bicep. And then, of course, now, Bruce Kolosinski up there.
All the way from Germany. Or it might be Austria, I'm not sure.
I'm digging that. You know what? Let's get there. Bruce is from Germany.
Germany, that's it.
And this is his first Olympia appearance.
Yes, and we were going to be joined.
Lee Labrada is here. He's about to put on a headset, and he looks good. He looks slick. Speaking of classic.
Wow, look at Bumstead from the back, the hamstrings and delts. Terrence is right there with him.
Abdominals and thighs.
Welcome, Lee, to the production, my friend. I know you've been busy with your son Hunter in the open, but we're talking classic bodybuilding.
It is great to be here, guys. And I'll tell you what, this is just the cream of the crop here.
Your favorite classic pose?
Well, we know this is your wheelhouse, Labrada, because you were all about class.
Well, thank you for that, Sean. And you know, these guys just exude the class. I mean, it's just amazing. Look at those physiques. I mean, just the classic lines.
It's bodybuilding-like, but nonetheless, there's a certain chemistry to it in terms of keeping things in proportion.
That's right. Well, you have that height to weight ratio that's required of each of these athletes, and so, you know, they really have to be careful where they place that muscle to achieve the maximum balance.
And there doesn't seem to be any big advantage being taller. You have to carry so much weight and make it look as good as a Brian at what, 5'7", 5'8".
That's right. They have it very well balanced in terms of the ratio of the height to the weight. Obviously, the taller you are, the heavier you can be, but there's limits.
Well, right now, Tim, what they're doing is trying to will it down to our top 10 finalists.
And then we're going to see our top 5 do their 2-minute routines. And we're going to see some of Lee's posing that they've stolen from online.
Exactly.
They may have borrowed it, and I'm sure that they have added to it and made it even better.
And that's exactly the nature of the game. I mean, who are you following, Lee, coming up when you're looking at the classic aspect of bodybuilding? I know you came behind like Muhammad Makawi and Frank Zane, but were those guys you were looking at? Or?
I was looking at those guys. I was looking at Ed Corney for the posing. I was actually a fan of Danny Padilla.
Yeah, Rochester, New York.
Yeah, and Samir Banu, who was Mr. Olympia in 1983.
Line 11.
So, the Labrada Classic, what's the shot of adding this pro division to that show?
Oh my gosh, we would love to see some professional classic competitors in Texas.
I've added it in Hawaii. Follow my lead, Lee. We'll talk.
All right.
It's going down in Hawaii, November the 20th. That's the next big show.
That's the next
following
big.
the Olympia, and I'm hoping we get some of these cats out there. $10,000 first place.
That's awesome.
Nice way to go into the holidays.
And I just saw you posted today, Oahu is open back up for big gatherings very shortly.
That's right. That's where Waikiki is located. And one thing we see in the Classic Physique League that we don't see so often in the Open is a lot of vacuum poses.
That's right. The stomach vacuum, and it's really so important, and it's not practiced by a lot of the Open competitors. You know, but it's something that you work at, and by developing the TVA muscles of the abdominal, and it really, really adds a lot to the physique.
Absolutely.
The emphasis on Classic Physique, Tim, is a lot more balanced, whereas the Open, it's about muscle and size, it seems. In the Classic, you got to put that muscle, like Lee said, in just the right places.
And knowing a couple of these guys like I do, keeping under that weight, keeping under that weight, keeping under that weight.
Some one-on-one comparisons from our judging panel. We got to see who the Bumstead's going to be your three-time champ. Next year here at the Olympia.
We're about to see some routines here. We'll see who our top 5 are. That's who's posing.
Well, Lee, you know a thing or two about routines. As a matter of fact, every one of your routines is memorable all the way to the music.
Well, thank you for that, Sean.
Can I have on stage, please?
Here we go.
Breon Ansley. Urs Kalasinski.
Good job, Urs.
Great
Ramon
athlete.
Roca. Quarios. Terrence Ruffin. And Chris Bumstead.
Urs is already committed to come to Hawaii for my show.
That's
phenomenal.
phenomenal.
Why not ride the wave, man? These guys are in shape.
He's a great athlete, a up-and-comer, really made a big splash at the Chicago Pro this year.
Super happy, too, man.
Yes.
He's like pleasantly surprised he did so well.
Very upbeat guy. Shredded.
Yeah.
My bad, folks. It's my first Olympia. Give me a break.
Well, the good thing, Lee, you didn't make it out to Columbus, Ohio. But at the Arnold Classic, one of our sponsors here tonight, Dr. Morales, the Fit Doctor, created a $10,000 award at the Arnold Classic, which is huge because these guys really do work hard on their teams.
All right, Breon. 2-time Classic Physique Olympia.
When's the last time we heard this music at a bodybuilding show?
I love the choice of his music. It's just so classic. Nothing like a little Andrea Bocelli to get things started.
Breon's taking it to the next level. Last time I heard Andrea Bocelli, guess who posed to it? Jay Cutler of all people.
Is that right?
Yeah, and the Olympia.
Well, smart man.
Now the idea here is to present your physique in many different forms, but an emphasis on transitions, right?
Well, that's exactly right. And you know, hitting the static poses and tying them together with the dynamic poses and transitions. Breon's got great biceps. He's known for his arms.
And his back.
And his conditioning is real good tonight. Looks like he actually hardened up.
Yeah. He looks a little better than earlier today.
And Chris Cormier has him right where he wants him.
Yeah, we were following him on Instagram. He's one of the few guys that actually showed his body to the audience on the lead up to the show.
Yeah, this is one of the better posing routines I've seen him do. This is very, very well thought out. It's nice and smooth.
Talk about classic. You see that bicep peak popping over the top?
Now, this is one of his strong poses here.
That back shot.
Should have held a little longer.
There's nothing missing.
Well, he's thirsty for that title that he used to hold 2 times.
He's a great Olympia champion. And a lot of people forget that he did bring that title home 2 times.
Yeah, and he was the only one who took his shirt off at the press conference.
Look at this. Watch this climax.
The Bills.
Oh, he's got something special planned. Watch this climax. Watch.
Like
oh, yes. Look at that split.
Yeah.
And the crowd is giving him the love that
Oh,
he deserves.
yes. Wow.
Only a few bodybuilders can do that. We've seen Ronnie Coleman and Flex Wheeler do this, and I believe Dorian Yates can do it.
And that's amazing. Those are big guys. Yeah. Well done, Breon.
Yeah, absolutely. He put the effort in. Is it enough?
Is it enough? That's the question.
All right, next up, Urs Kalasinski.
Welcome your next finalist.
This is the young man from Germany.
Urs Kalasinski.
Babyface. He looks like he's about 19 years old.
Well, I don't think he's much older than that. I think he's 21.
Very young, with a lot of potential.
This is his first Olympia, as you can well imagine.
That's right. He qualified by winning the Chicago Pro.
How about that hair, man? Jealous. Adonis type look.
Oh, very nice V-taper there. Nice transition into three-quarter back shot. Oh, yeah.
Very spot on the Schwarzenegger pose there. You see a lot of the old school poses, you know who did them.
That's right. That's right. His timing is very well done. It's very
Lee
well
Labrada right there, baby.
It's very well choreographed. This kid has got tons of potential.
Nice calves. And this is what we come here to see. We want to be entertained and actually move with the music and the body, right? I mean, sometimes guys come out and forget that there's an audience watching them.
Well, and one of the things you have to appreciate with an artistic, you expect to open this with the classic physique, but it's not pro wrestling.
Correct. No, that's exactly right.
It's almost ballet and hardcore.
That's exactly right, Tim.
And each athlete actually is raising the bar for the next athlete. They look sideways, the other guy's got a great routine, they've got to do a great routine.
That's exactly right.
Nice pose. I like that.
Beautiful pose. I like that transition a lot too.
Bob Harris.
That's a great pose. Okay, so now we've become a little bit more upbeat. Audience is just loving it.
And that's his personality, right?
You know, like a little Vince Taylor robot?
Look at that.
Yeah, Vince Taylor, John Brown. Looks like a split's coming out.
Yep, here it comes. Here it comes.
Flexibility in full effect.
That's beautiful.
Oh, that's a great routine.
Listen to the crowd.
Just amazing.
That's what the crowd wants to see, right?
They're going crazy.
He's charismatic. That is for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Brazil, Ramon Roca Heroes.
All right, fellas, here's the other end of the spectrum. The second Europa Pro from Brazil.
And Ramon was a surprise. You know, he came out of nowhere.
Got some good arms.
He's very muscular.
Almost to the verge of bodybuilding. Not so much.
From these angles, it looks that way, doesn't it, Sean?
Yeah, he's thick. You can't be too thick for this division. Hitting the right poses.
That's a great shot.
Nice tricep.
Very nice.
Got good, solid, thick arms. It's got to be pretty strong. Conditioning could be a little better. It's not the prototypical classical bodybuilding music.
That's right.
But he is hitting a lot of those classical poses.
He is. But again, there's a thing called synchronicity, which is a word I stole from the late Peter McGough, where everything kind of has to flow a little bit.
That's right.
The music can overpower the routine if it's not in sync.
That's
Well,
exactly right.
For his first Olympia, that was a nice shot.
Ah, look at that. He bowed to Joe.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Arnold Classic champion from the USA, Terrence Ruffin.
All right, things are going to get interesting because this is a guy who puts in the work.
He's
He's not only
amazing.
the physique, but the routine.
Just an amazing poser. Arguably the best poser in the world right now.
Narrowly missed out on the Best Poser Award 2 weeks ago to Logan Franklin.
Is that right? So this guy's going to put a very dramatic pose routine together for us here.
And Sean, conditioning-wise, how does he look compared to the Arnold 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, he's right where he was. I mean, he's right in the mix of where he was at. He's got that nice, deep chocolate skin, kind of like Johnny Fuller back in the day.
That's right.
Robbie Robinson kind of has a nice listen to it when he hits the shot. You see things happening.
Watch this pose right here. That's really, really pretty. Looks like a cat.
Yeah. Kind of a Terry Pastel old school bodybuilding. He's the master illusionist. He reminds me of you, Lee. I know you worked with this guy. Have you worked with him?
We actually had the privilege of posing together.
Yeah.
One afternoon. We had quite a good time. That video is available on our Labrada Nutrition YouTube.
Nice, yeah.
For just $8.95.
No, it's actually
But you
free.
can see the influence that Lee had on the guy, right? He's adding his own elements.
I like this one.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
great
like a
pose.
matador type thing.
Oh, yeah, look at that. He's
Nice.
winding up. Very stylish.
And he's like lip syncing at the right places as well. It doesn't hurt that that's a little Kai Greenish. You see that?
Have had some overtones.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
It really is.
And you can hear the crowd giving
Yeah,
him
the
the
crowd
feedback.
is loving it.
Win the crowd. Win the show.
Oh, yeah. And he is doing that. This is art.
Beautiful.
He set the pace.
Well
right there.
done.
Great job, Terrence.
And nice bow. That's what the Labrada move.
Terrence Ruffin.
Nice. See, that's what we come to see. I like that. It's refreshing.
That is a beautiful
And your
pose
right
and a beautiful physique.
from Canada.
And here's the reigning champion.
He is your two-time reigning, defending, Classic Physique Olympia champion, Chris Bumstead.
Okay, in the world of vacuums, there are people that are dustbusters, right? This guy is that.
Suck all the air out of
This
the
is a
room.
shop vac. This is a big vacuum.
He's got a big ribcage. I tried to encourage him to go up against the open guys in bodybuilding to offer an alternative.
He's posing to a tune
Oh, yeah.
from Alan Parsons' project.
Look at that.
It's
He looks
very,
really
very
good.
dramatic. He sure does. Great conditioning.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
That's a great pose right there.
Arnold.
Twisting three-quarter.
Franco. We can name all the poses.
I love this.
Bob
Barbaros.
Nice.
With the mustache.
Yeah, right?
Look at the sweep on those legs and those glutes.
And
He
the
is in
separation.
really
Finger.
good conditioning.
Christmas tree coming in. He's about a 6'1" bodybuilder.
Yeah, this is by far what I would say is the largest competitor.
He's got to be right at the weight limit.
He has to be right at the weight limit, which for his height, I want to say
About 230, I think.
about 230.
Yeah. That's one of the better lat spreads you're going to see.
I know NPC to IFBB, they give him 10 more pounds.
Look at that bicep.
This was considered big back in our day,
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
and he's got a beautiful physique.
And the tight waist. Look at that abdominals.
Look at here's the
obliques.
backing pose.
There goes all the air in the room. He's going to be tough to beat.
Yes, he's going to definitely be tough to beat.
There's
That
your
was a
rating
signature pose.
Confident, too.
Nicely
Two-time
done.
Olympia champion, Chris Bumstead.
He's winning the crowd, that's for sure.
He sure has.
All right, folks, it is that time. We're going to have our top 5 gentlemen.
So here it comes,
On
guys.
stage, it
Yeah,
is
that was
time
quick.
To see who wins.
How do you got it?
Man, that was quick. I mean, I want to see them all come back out again. It's so unique. Everyone has something, that it factor.
They sure do.
We know that Breon was in a battle with Ruffin last year, and Ruffin edged him out for the first time.
That's right.
Chris is right there. I mean, what do you got to critique? How do you critique that physique?
Really, you're looking at the top 5 classic
All
physique
right, top
competitors
5
in the
gentlemen,
world today.
please.
I'm really happy for
Judge Steve
I
Weimer.
think the top 3 is going to be the same as last year, potentially.
I do, but I'm always happy for Ramon and Urs, the new guys
You
out
got
there.
it, then hit the music. Gentlemen, for the
It's a
title.
And here's
Pose
Urs.
down.
Now remember, we're on the biggest stage in the history of the Olympia. So there's plenty of room to move around.
Yes, there is.
The question is, will they?
They want to get the attention of the judges, and they want to compare themselves to the other ones.
Now, Bumstead's an incredible package, but look how big Ramon looks next to him.
Yeah, he's right
Ramon
there.
looks every bit as big in the upper body, especially. Huh?
Yeah, he probably barely made the weight, too. That's a rematch from last year.
He's coming down here to go after Breon.
Yeah, Breon's pretty much hitting his signature pose from the rear. Now, Urs is holding his own in the height department. He's right there with him.
Looky here.
Okay, that's a good matchup.
Yeah, that's a good matchup. Oh, look at those two on the end. The youngster against the seasoned vets.
Urs, I think Urs, he needs a more maturity, Urs.
Yeah.
But it's coming, guys. This guy is only 21 years
All
old.
right, gentlemen. Thank you very much, guys.
Oh,
Don't forget this
outstanding,
way.
guys. All right, Urs is a solid fifth. He earned that spot.
And the results are in. The presenters are ready.
Now, Lee, you got a very well-trained eye. Who wins this?
From my perspective, I would give the first place of the nod. You know, his stature is dominating, you know, because he's complete from head to toe. Not all tall guys are that well built, but he's very complete.
I like the decisiveness on that question. We had Lee Haney in here, and he's very diplomatic.
Right.
He wanted no part of making the final decision.
The fifth place award and presented to Ramon Roca.
That was predictable, I think, in this lineup. Genetically, structure-wise.
Well,
Yeah.
this may be his first Olympia, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And so he's going to get some experience from this. He's going to mature. He's going to learn.
He's got to be happy with that. He looks like he's beaming right now.
Yeah, he arrived.
Well, he's on the world's greatest stage.
Remember, this
is an accomplishment again.
they raised the prize money. A year ago it was 30 grand for first place. Now it's 50 grand. So we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. These guys should be making way more for the quality of performance they put on.
These guys put in so much work, and it's really arguably the fastest growing category.
So that's why Jake threw some more money at this to make sure they're getting rewarded.
And owner, Mr. Jared Wheat.
And there's more of these shows being added.
I love that.
All right, our friends from High Tech coming out to get that award for fifth to our winner for fourth place.
Jared will take the fourth place award, the check for $5,000. And present it to our fourth place finisher. Urs
From Germany.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good finish for where he started. The youngest guy in that lineup.
Wow. Pretty incredible accomplishment. Fourth in the Mr. Olympia his first year out as a professional.
Germany's got to be proud of that. It's been a while since Germany's had somebody way up there, and I think he's the latest.
He is the latest, they produce great athletes. They really do. I'm really glad to see the Mr. Olympia become such an international event.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. We got people from everywhere here. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Iran, Brazil, Germany, they're coming from everywhere.
presenting a third place award.
All right, guys.
Vice President of Wings of Strength.
Now it's when it comes down to just a few points separating these guys. They're so good.
Alex, please take the third
Splitting
place
hairs.
award, the Olympia bronze medal. The check for $10,000 to our third place finisher. Breon Ansley.
Again, I believe it was 30 years ago.
He
wasn't
was
it?
indeed.
Okay. Congratulations to Breon. He's up against some tough company. He's actually better than he was last year.
He seems more muscular, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's matured. I think a lot of more refinement. The back really came up for him this year.
All right, now it is a rematch. As you say, a rubber match. The rubber match. Last year's number one and last year's number two. Bob, I'm sure we'll have Terrence and Chris make their way to center stage for the stress test he likes to put upon guys.
I like the fact that Breon's sporting the afro, man. He brought the afro back. All right, these guys got the rubber match.
I can have Chris and Terrence in the center, please.
The tension is almost palpable. What's running through these two guys' heads. Sean, you can relate to that.
The past year, these are the number 1 and 2 bodybuilders in the world, or classic physiques in the world. And Terrence is coming off a victory 2 weeks ago.
Presenting our first place award.
And Chris is confident, but is not overly confident because Terrence is a great competitor.
The Fit Doc is coming out. I told you, he's my partner in Hawaii with Classic Pro Physique. We're going to make him your partner in Texas and bring it there.
He's a great guy.
Dr. Morales is really giving back to the classic.
Great supporter of our sport.
He and Corey were at your show.
That's right.
Here it comes.
Please take the first place award, the Olympia gold medal, a check for $50,000, and the title of 2021 Classic Physique Olympia champion to our winner. And three-time Olympia champion.
There it is.
Bumstead.
Whoop, there it is.
That was a good battle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Terrence would have to do to beat Chris, because Chris is the complete physique.
He's very solid and very dominant at this time.
Yeah, it's tough to put a chink in that armor. When you're trying to find a weakness, you can't find one. That's the problem. And that's what makes a champion, actually.
$15,000 to your runner-up, Terrence Ruffin.
So if all things are equal, I mean, your eyes just naturally drawn to the bigger guy that stands out a little more.
It's just innate,
Yeah.
you know. And then of course you start picking them apart. But the thing is that Chris is a complete athlete, just like Terrence is.
Yeah.
You know, so you know he's hard to beat.
Yeah. So there's your Dr. Morales up there with Tyler Mannion and the doctor's wife, Corey. She's a pro figure, and Dr. Morales is actually a pro classic physique competitor himself.
That's right.
I couldn't imagine what it would be like as an athlete, guys. You have to go back to the drawing board each year, but that other guy like Bumstead that says, I got to go back and do the same thing I did the last 3 years.
Tim, you bring up a really good point. I think that the important thing to do as an athlete is to seek to better yourself every year. In other words, if I can beat my physique from last year, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, but with a guy like that that's got weight confines, how much improvement can you really put in there?
Oh, a lot, because it's about redistributing.